Welcome back to another episode of E-Weekly, your home for campus news. This week we have record-setting stories, Eastern Michigan spending money, and more. Evan Hensley has sports and Eastern Michigan's push in the playoffs. Jaden Shorts has the dish, and we have you in mind. This is E-Weekly.
Welcome back to E-Weekly, everyone. I'm Sarah Poderacki, and it's nice to be back at the desk. All of us just got off of a much-needed spring break.
I completely agree. It's always been weird having spring break in February, but you know Michigan, 65 yesterday and snow tomorrow. And that's not even an exaggeration. I'm Nina Maria Badalamenti. Let's get into the news.
Earlier this month, Eastern Michigan's Board of Regents approved a $15 million budget for renovations to buildings on campus. The construction project will include improvements to the science complex and Quirk, as well as renovations to on-campus housing. These improvements are with the constant goal of improving Eastern's technological standing in the classroom, as well as safety on campus. Student safety and security has been in question over the past year or so, and this budget has room to address some of those needs. $1.4 million are set aside to improve lights, cameras, sidewalks, and security fencing. While the budget deficit has many asking questions and wondering what changes Eastern Michigan will face, it looks like the trend is continuing upwards in hopes of making EMU the best it can be.
On February 11th, nearly 200 volunteers gathered in Bowen Fieldhouse over the span of 6 hours to paint a mural representing the timeline of EMU and Ypsilanti unity. The mural was painted on 300 square feet of canvas and was separated into 3 different time periods: past activism, present movement, and future ambitions. The student-led project was put together with the help of EMU faculty and community organizations to continue the fight against racism. This event was created as another way for students and members of the community to show their support of the cause. The mural was very purposely designed by Scotty Schluter, who made sure every part of the painting was incorporated images that the community wanted to represent the unity of Ypsilanti from past to future. You can see the recently installed mural on the walls of McKinney Hall Lounge.
On February 9th, President Smith, accompanied by a few members of the Board of Regents, activated the new energy-saving cogeneration unit. This 55-ton piece of machinery will supply around 98% of heat to Eastern's campus. In general, it will be responsible for 93% of the electricity on the 800-acre campus. This cogeneration unit uses a natural gas fuel source simultaneously to produce heat and electricity. This new unit costs nearly $20 million, but will replace the 29-year-old unit that ended operations 2 years ago. This new system will improve efficiency by over 40% from the last unit and should make a profit back to the university in under 9 years.
On February 9th, the EMU Board of Regents approved the plan for a new health center on EMU's campus. The plans have been created through the collaboration of Eastern, St. Joseph Mercy Health System, and Integrated Healthcare Associates. It will provide comprehensive primary care, urgent care, and an on-site pharmacy. It will also house EMU's current counseling and psychological services, along with other health services currently located in Snow Health Center. The total cost of the new facility will near $8.4 million, 8.1 of which will be used towards roadway construction. This is the portion that EMU will be funding themselves. Not only will the 25,700 square foot building house health services, but it will also incorporate education-related facilities, including simulation center and anatomy lab, emergency preparedness, exercises, residency training, and much more for nearly 20 health-related programs at EMU. The health center will be located on the northwest end of campus off of Huron River Drive and Oakwood Street. This project is projected to open in the summer of 2019.
In a quick update for you, Eddie Curlin, the suspect in the racist vandalism of 2016, was adjourned from February 12th to March 5th. Curlin pleaded not guilty in regards to 3 accounts of malicious damage to property, 4 counts of identity theft, and using computers to commit crimes. Curlin is currently in custody for an unrelated case.
This is a jam-packed episode with plenty more to come after the break.
A typical day will start for the delivery staff because they are central to what we do. Our delivery staff gets here at about 9:30 in the morning. They get their route for the day. Then they prep their vehicle, they clean it out, make sure it's ready to go. They get their hot boxes all set and ready. Valley Food Services, who is our commissary for our food preparation, will come to Meals on Wheels between 9:45 and 10 a.m. They get here, we count out the meals, we temp them to make sure they're at the appropriate heat. Then they section them out and count, make sure we have the exact number of meals we need. And then they get the sides that go along with the hot entrees. And they have that bag and they put that in a cooler and then they load that into their vehicle. Then they do their exit checkout and then they're ready to go on their route. So typically they're out of here no later than 10:15, 10:30. Then they start their deliveries and it takes them about 2 to 2.5 hours to make those deliveries. So for myself and our office staff, I typically get here about 8:30 to open the office. We check our messages. Then we also do some prep work for the routes. If there needs to be some logistical changes for routing, we try to do that. Typically I start by answering emails from volunteers and from our funders. And then my work kind of starts into doing some grant writing and who I have to go meet with today, if I have to meet with a funder or a partner program. And then Carrie does a lot more of the office work as well. So between our primary hours, Carrie will also probably do anywhere between 1 and 3 intake calls for clients who might need to get on our program. So she does that and it takes roughly about an hour to do that over the phone with a client. She'll kind of help with all the paperwork that we have to file from a state level, sets up appointments for our nursing staff and nursing students to go out and do health assessments for the clients on a daily basis. And then she also just kind of maintains the facility to make sure the upkeep is going well.
My favorite band just put out a new CD. I was super excited. I'd been waiting forever for it to come out. But I was having a little cash flow problem. I asked some of my friends if they had the new CD yet, and they said I could get it for free if I found a pirated copy online. Without hesitation, I went on my computer and I found a website that had a free pirated copy, and I clicked download. It was that simple. After downloading it, I went to my computer and I opened my music player to listen to it, but my computer had slowed down to almost a stop. All I ended up with was a virus. Not my band's album. I guess when you pirate anything, you run the risk of an infection. Not to mention if you get caught, there could be legal issues. It really does pay to pay. My name is Emma, and I'm trying to be e-safe.
Welcome back to eWeekly. We've got a lot of catching up to do after missing a week for spring break. Right now, Sarah has an update on an automotive accident.
A woman is in critical condition after a motorcycle accident yesterday afternoon. Near the intersection of Michigan and Prospect, a woman ran into the back of an SUV at high speeds. The driver of the SUV said she saw the motorcycle speeding in the rearview mirror as she was turning onto Michigan Avenue. The SUV received rear damage in the collision. The bike itself was totaled, but the cyclist was wearing a helmet. Huron Valley Ambulance spokesman Matt Rose informed MLive the cyclist was taken to St. Joseph Mercy Health System in critical condition. Police remained on the scene for 30 minutes. The crash is still under investigation.
On February 16th, in the basement of Haley Library, the Learn to Learn in Technical Courses workshop was held. This workshop aimed to help students find the learning style that best suits them. Part of the workshop was completing the VARC questionnaire that asks questions to determine how well you learn through visual, audio, reading, and kinesthetic methods. Knowing how to learn is a crucial part of your education and can allow students to better succeed. This Learn How to Learn workshop is one of the many academic workshops organized by the Holman Success Center, whose primary goal is to aid students in their academic career to get them to success. For more information on the Holman Success Center and their helpful resources, visit their page on the EMU website.
Still to come, Evan Hensley will be back filling us in on basketball as we prepare for March Madness. But for now, what's going on, Jaden?
Thank you, Sarah. I'm Jaden Short here with The Dish. As February comes to a close, so does Black History Month. We have tried to highlight Black history as best as we could on eWeekly, but today I want to highlight Black future, specifically 5-year-old Zaire Gunn. Zaire was asked to recite a poem in front of the Ypsilanti Board of Education, and he did so without any hesitation. After reciting Yusini Eugene Perkins' poem, Hey Black Child, the board gave Zaire a much-deserved standing ovation. Zaire recreated his performance in front of a camera, and the video, posted on YouTube, is nearing 3,000 views. Zaire's teacher, Anita Smith, believes Zaire has taken these words to heart as they try to stress to him he truly can do anything he sets his mind to. Zaire will be starting kindergarten next year, and his future looks so bright. As for the man behind the words, Yusini Eugene Perkins is one of the more famous poets that you may not have heard of, but Perkins often gets miscredited when it comes to his poetry. But he has quite an extensive catalog, including Hey Black Child, Cry of the Black Ghetto, and many more. Perkins was a leader of the Black arts movement in Chicago in the 1960s and 70s. This was an encouraging movement to step away from the European influences on art. Perkins currently resides in Chicago. And that's all for me on The Dish in the month of February. I'm Jaden Shorts, and Evan Hensley will be back after the break. Thank you.
I got some jeans, I got some shoes, and I got a sweet new hoodie.
Jeans, shoes, a new hoodie,
Some new headphones, and a couple of video games.
video games, and some headphones.
And I didn't pay for a thing.
And I paid for it all. Not to mention, I'm out a brand new laptop because he stole my computer and went on a shopping spree with my money. So now I have all of my usernames and all of my passwords saved in a password management system like KeePass. So if my laptop is stolen, my passwords aren't. My name is Caitlin, and I'm trying to be e-safe.
So I tried logging into my .emish account and it wouldn't let me in. So I went down to the help desk and they said I had already changed my password. No I didn't. Shortly after that, my apartment was broken into. Yeah, if you put 2 and 2 together, you know where they go. My address. They got my password, got onto my .emish account, and stole my class schedule and my home address. They knew when I wasn't gonna be home. I should have known that a password of ABCD1234 isn't too hard to guess. Now, I'm more careful about choosing a password. I take a word that's 8 to 10 letters long that isn't too personal to me, and I change some characters around. For example, the word college, C-O-L-L-E-G-E. I can change the L's to 7s and the E's to question marks. Don't use college, okay? You have passwords for a reason. Take the time to make one that is unique and easy for you to remember, yet hard for someone else to figure out. My name is Daniel, and I'm trying to be safe.
I'm addicted to Facebook. I'm always on it. I was checking on my feeds one day when I noticed an ad to test and keep an iPad. So I clicked the link. All I needed to get was my contact info. You know, home address, email address, cell phone number. Seems pretty easy to get a free iPad. A week goes by, and I never get a new iPad. And I noticed I was getting hundreds of text ads on my phone. Because of all the extra text messages sent to my phone, my bill went up $10. Yeah, I wasn't getting a free iPad. They were just fishing for my phone number to sell to advertisers. I know there are legitimate ads on Facebook, but if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. My name is Nate, and I'm trying to be e-safe.
Welcome back. This is Eagle Sports, and I'm Evan Hensley. Eastern Michigan men's basketball team was in Kalamazoo last night as they went head-to-head against Western Michigan. It was a big game for EMU as they were able to clinch a first-round bye in the MAC tournament next week. They topped the Broncos 74-58 and improved their record to 19-11 on the season. The Eagles can either be the 3 or 4 seed in the tournament and have the tiebreaker over Western or any other team that would tie them. This is the second time Rob Murphy has won 10 games in MAC play as the head coach of the Eagles, and the first time since 2012 the Eagles won in Kalamazoo. Eastern only turned the ball over 7 times in the whole game in a fairly dominating performance. Paul Jackson led the way for the Eagles in scoring with 21 points. He added 8 assists to this tally. Eastern will wrap up their regular season at Toledo this Friday. If the season were to end today, here's a look at what the MAC standings would look like. As you see, Buffalo, Toledo, and Eastern have all clinched the bye in the first round. That final 4th spot is tossed up between a few teams. EMU can even fall to that 4 by the end of this weekend. It's definitely exciting around campus to have the first round bye. Last Saturday was senior day at the Convocation Center, and the Eagles' lone senior had an eventful day. After a pregame ceremony recognizing Tim Bond, the Eagles went to battle with the Northern Illinois Huskies. Bond came into the game leading 7 points to reach the 1,000-point total and only 2 steals to become the Eagles' all-time steals leader midway through the first half. Bond tipped the ball to Malik Ellison for his 221st career steal, pushing him past Earl Boykins, giving him the #1 tally for all-time steals. On that same play, Ellison led Bond on the fast break with a pass that resulted in a slam dunk and Bond's 1,000th career basket, joining James Thompson and 29 other Eagles. The Eagles romped the Huskies 82-53. The Eastern Michigan women's team will be playing Western Michigan later tonight. As plenty of postseason implications are on the line, the Eagles come into play 10-17 overall, while the Broncos are 500 at 14-14. This will be the 84th time these two teams meet up in the program history. The Eagles lead the all-time matchup 48-35. Earlier this year, Danielle Minot led the way to beat Western as she scored 21 first-half points. She's looking to come off another strong performance as they scored 18 points to pass the 400-point marker this season in the loss to Northern Illinois this past weekend. If the women's tournament started today, EMU would be the 9th seed and Western would be the 7th seed. However, if Western loses, both the Broncos and the Eagles will have the same MAC record should there be an interesting one in Kalamazoo. Senior Josh Frieder finished his college swimming career with a second-place finish in the prelims with a 21.82. EMU will head to Oxford, Ohio for the MAC Championships later this evening. We finally have some outdoor sports to report on. Golf is underway for the Eagles. On Monday, February 26th, the Eagles tied for 4th place at Loyola. Intercollegiate senior Tyler Lewis tied for the runner-up at the tournament as he gathered a 3-round 16-under par total of 200. Breaking the previous record of 203. Eagles finished in a 3-way tie for 4th with host Loyola and Gonzaga. The golfing Eagles will continue their season in a couple of weeks in Bluffington, South Carolina. That's been it for Eagle Sports in the month of February. I'm Evan Hensley, and we'll see you next week.
I typically would describe Meals on Wheels in 3 words: support. What I mean by support is having somebody there every day you can count on, who's going to be there with a smile and a hot meal for you.
First, I would say that I would be with them if I could, delivering for the people.
Observant?
That's a tough one. I would say, well, more than a meal. I guess that's 4, but close enough.
It's helpful. I mean, just the fact that somebody's doing something for you should make you feel better.
Abundance.
Fulfilling is probably the main top one.
They're good.
I think that we are a compassionate organization.
I think it's great. I give it thumbs up.
It keeps us independent.
Yes.
It's the easiest, most fulfilling job I've ever had.
It keeps us independent so we don't have to depend on anybody.
Independence.
Caring and steady and present, like we're present for these people, every day.
Joyful, brings a lot of peace and a lot of happiness to you at the end of the day.
Sharing.
Caring, responsible.
I think vital to the community.
3 words? I think it's great, actually. Not trying to steal from Tony the Tiger, but yeah, it's great.
It teaches you portion control.
Loving the community that they work in, trying to make the community better.
Helpfulness.
Actually, it's fun. Believe it or not, it's really fun and fulfilling to be doing this type of thing.
Patience.
It pulls at your heartstrings. It does. And it doesn't matter whether you're out en route delivering meals or you're in the office on the phone.
Reliable.
Hope. So people feel like they have hope, that they can stay in their home for as long as possible. I think all of us want to be where we're feeling most comfortable.
Hidden, because we don't advertise. You know about the program, yet you don't think about the program.
I think we're out there helping people more than a lot of people even know, so I think it's a very helpful program. I think it's a much needed program that there's a lot of people in our community who just really could use a program like Meals on Wheels that maybe don't even realize that it's there for them.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hi, I'm Gordon. I'm here about your job opening. Hi, I'm here about the job. Hi. The word you'll hear most often during a job hunt? No. No. One expert says you can expect 20 rejections before you get your first maybe. So don't be down on yourself. Be sure your resume is flawless, or you'll never see the inside of an interview suite. Be punctual for interviews, but no earlier than 5 minutes. A firm handshake is important. And look the interviewer in the eye. Don't be a downer, dude. Speak in positive terms about school and your previous employers. Sit alertly during your interview and show you're human. Smile a little. And follow up every interview with a thank you letter, expressing your interest in the job and why you think you're qualified.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Viking.
Red state, blue state, vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live
our families,
united.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer.
Welcome back to eWeekly. Before we wrap up the show, we have Gabrielle Reed with what's going on around campus this weekend. Gabrielle?
Thanks, Sarah. Hello, everyone, and welcome back from spring break. I hope you had a great time soaking up the sun. There are so many new exciting things that will be happening here on campus. A classic EMU event that is back and ready for another great show is the Lyric Lounge. This show of poetry will be held in room 300 of the Student Center from 9 to 11 p.m. The event is co-sponsored by the Poetry Society. This event is also free and LBC approved. On Friday from 3 to 5, there will be a coffee hour with the Office of International Students and Scholars. This event is free and at the intersection of the Student Center. Stop by and mingle. EMU Choir will perform their concert this Friday starting at 7:30 in Pease Auditorium. The show will last an hour and a half and will showcase music prepared for the Midwest ACDA Conference in Chicago. This event is free and LBC approved. There will be another movie being shown on Friday, March 2nd. The movie Jumanji will be shown in the Student Center Auditorium from 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. No, this isn't the one with Robin Williams, but it still received great reviews. This event is free and it's a great way to unwind after a long week of classes. So bring your popcorn and a friend. As Evan mentioned, the Eastern Michigan women's basketball team will take on Western Michigan at the Convocation Center on Saturday. This is a big game for the Lady Eagles, so come on out and support. It's free to get in with student ID. Looking ahead to next week on Monday, March 5th, another Wellness Wolf Day will take place in the Rec IM. Go play with some therapy dogs and relieve some stress. This furry event will go from 4 to 5 and is free to students. Be sure to bring your ID so you can get into the rec. This weekend will be a hodgepodge of weather. While the highs in temperature will consistently stay around 45 degrees and the lows will be around 30, the weather with it will be Michigan-esque. There will be snow tomorrow, high winds on Friday, sunny on Saturday and Sunday, and cloudy early next week. As Black History Month comes to an end, I thought it would be fitting to highlight one of our very own Black alumni. Nicole M. Johnson graduated from Eastern Michigan University in 2013 with her master's degree in higher education. She was also crowned Miss Black Michigan 2016 and still closely works with Eastern Michigan University as an admissions recruiter. She is a prime example of Eastern pride and Black girl magic. We applaud you, Nicole. That's all for my time today. I'm your host, Gabrielle Reed, and thank you for watching The Dish here on Eastern Weekly.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm really missing break right about now. I heard you went on a trip, Nina?
Yeah, I did. I actually spent a few days volunteering on a little service trip down in Detroit called Cass Community Social Services. It was really great. It's a good way to spend a little bit of free time, although I do have to say that break was a little too short for me.
Definitely, definitely.
I see you. Something happened to your finger there, Sarah.
Yeah, don't put glass in the trash and then reach in after it, okay, kids? You're learning a good lesson here on your TV.
Well, thanks for watching. We just want to remind you guys to follow us on all social media. We have our new Facebook page up, and to watch all of our episodes at ETV at EMU on YouTube.
That's all from us. I'm Sarah Poderacki.
And I'm Nina Maria Badalamenti. We'll see you next week.
My mom's birthday was coming up fast, so I needed to go out shopping for something quick. I needed to move money from my savings to my checking account so I could use my debit card at the mall. I cracked open my laptop, hit the bookmark from my bank, and entered in my username and password. What the heck? I got sent back to the home page. So I entered in my username and password again, made the transfer, and went to the mall where I found this cool little necklace for my mom. That's good news, right? The bad news is, the next week I went to make a purchase and they told me that I had insufficient funds to cover that purchase. Long story short, when I had logged into my bank the first time, I got redirected to a fake site that stole my username and password. I guess I got a virus that redirected my bookmark. The thieves had a field day with my account. I wish I had known then what I know now. You have to check and make sure you're really on your bank's website. This could be done by either recognizing an image you've selected or clicking a lock or VeriSafe icon and comparing the bank's web address to a web address you've got on our certificate. My name is Luke, and I'm trying to be e-safe.